part 5 of living on the streets in the late 70s, early 80s. So Ray, we're up to you finally getting some help from the government and getting your own place, being housed in a housing commission place for the first time in your life. You had a roof over your head. Can you tell us a little bit more about that part of your life?
Alright, so I'll backtrack it just a little bit in the other blog. I got help with this place I'm in now through this wonderful lady, I can't thank her enough. She's from Epping. She's retired, by the way, too. She wrote me a letter when I got this place, and it was a nice letter. It was wishing me all the best and good luck for your future. So I've shifted in here on my 37th birthday. I was 37 years old when I got this. I shifted in here on my birthday. It was my birthday when I got this joint. There was nothing in here. Anyway, I got, because of my brain injuries, I had a team called Urella. You people have probably heard Urella. They help people. They're an organisation that help out people with brain injuries and all types of injuries.
All types of disabilities.
That's right. So they got on board with me and gave me a case manager. Took a while before I got a case manager that suited me, and the one I've got now, I've been with her for 10 years. She's a beautiful lady. She's been working with me for over 13 years now. I've actually been here for 13 years, but in that time I've got to fill in the gaps because I was a chronic alcoholic. I was still an alcoholic when I shifted in here. I sort of had parties in here. I had, just being silly, stupid things, getting drunk all the time. Got with a lady for a while, and she started taking drugs, and I told her not to do that because, it'll end up bad. And I've got her on my arm there, Sandy, rest in peace. She died of a drug overdose. That really rocked my world. I didn't want to see her die, but I in the meantime, I tried to get her help. I took her to Inner Space and all these drug places that tried to help her.
So in between all the excitement and the joy of finally getting a roof over your head and some help, you had a lot of sadness that went with it, or a lot of frustrations, and so there were many mixed emotions.
Yeah, because don't forget I'd already had acquired brain injuries and accidents and assaults. So I partied it up for a while, and then I got sick of being a dickhead once again. I was on alcohol.
So the old ways never really left you, even though you had finally had a roof over your head.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now, because I'm not on the alcohol now. But I come to my senses. I can only speak for myself. I had heaps of wake-up calls along the journey of my life. And the biggest thing was when I got pancreatitis.
So that was obviously much later on in your travels, your journeys, and that was after many years of chronic alcohol abuse?
Yeah. I was sitting on the front porch of my place here in Preston, and my pancreas exploded in my stomach, and I bled out.
Oh, wow. Were you alone at that time?
Yeah, I was. I was pissed when it happened. I was drinking. And I spewed up a whole heap of blood. It went all over me. So I staggered to the phone, rang an ambulance. And the first people that come here were the Johnny Rebs.
Johnny Rebs meaning the police?
Yeah.
And so the ambulance picked you up?
No, they couldn't get here quick enough, so the police come here. We got into a bit of a two-way conversation about, you're not dying on my shift and we need to get you to hospital, so how do you want to go about this? We can either do it the easy way or the hard way. And I said, well, what's the easy way? He says, well, you get in the back of the divvy and we race you straight to hospital, Or the hard way is we wrestle you, chuck you in the back of the divvy, and take you that way.
So as I understand it, Ray, you did have a bit of a history with regular visits from the police,
Yeah, here,
local
yeah.
police, yeah.
That's right, because I was being.
So did they were quite aware of who you were?
Yeah, but they knew I was harmless. They knew I wasn't any big fish.
Okay, so they drove you to the hospital?
They rushed me to hospital.
Rushed you to the hospital, sirens blaring?
Yeah. They got me there in about, it seemed like 5 seconds.
Were you scared? Did the alarm bell start ringing in your head, or did you not really care?
I was too pissed. I was too drunk at the time. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I was in trouble because I looked at all the blood and it was just all over me.
Did you ever try to commit suicide during your travels, Ray?
Yeah, I did. I done that a couple of times and that didn't work. So
what, if you don't mind me asking, what did you try to do to end your life? Without going into too much detail.
I popped a whole jar of little lollies and washed it down with a bottle of Johnny Walker.
Little lollies?
Meaning pills.
Yes.
I washed it down with a bottle of Johnny Walker, and a friend come past, seen the door open, walked in, and she seen me clinically dead on the floor. And if you look over here, there's even the heart monitors are even here from my heart. They're from your heart. You know, the stickers that they put on your chest?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's the evidence right there. So that's one, and I'm not proud of it, but...
You've got 9 lives, Ray.
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
Should call you the Cat Man.
Call me what you want, except late for lunch.
Anyways, let's get back to the hospital.
So, they rushed me into emergency, into Epping. Then I staggered out and I had a cigarette, and the nurses are saying, "No, you can't have a smoke, you're bleeding inside." Anyway, I was outside the hospital having a puff of a cigarette, and I had the security guard watching me, and then I vomited again, just blood. They rushed me into emergency, did what they did, and I stayed in hospital for a good 2 months with pancreatitis.
Did you do any serious thinking about your life whilst you were in there?
Yes and no. I knew I was in big trouble when I seen the blood, and I had to weigh it all up. I had to weigh it out with common sense, and yeah.
So what was your common sense like at that stage, since you weren't able to get a hold of the alcohol as much as you would have liked at that point?
Well, I dried out while I was in hospital, and...
was that a tough time for you?
Yeah, it was. And the nurses were very good with me.
You had counselling and everything?
Yeah, I had help in there. And I stayed in there for a good 2 months, and then when I was getting out, the surgeon that operated on me, he was in the middle of an operation because he all had his gown on, and he just said to me, "Ray, before you go, can I talk to you?" And I said, yeah, sure. He said, "I want to tell you something, mate. I like you, I reckon. You're a good person, mate. You've got a good heart, and if you can put your brain into gear, you're going to work this out. If you drink, if you leave this hospital and you drink, you're going to die, mate, okay? You've got pancreatitis, it's a death sentence." And stupid me joking around said, "Oh, I'm going to go and have a quick beer when I get out." And he just shook his head and said, "It's up to you, mate. If you want to live, you'll live. If you want to die, you'll die."
Wise words, straightforward.
And lo and behold, the penny dropped in my head.
At that moment. Wow.
The penny dropped. I was in serious trouble.
So you left the hospital. Were you on your own at that point?
Yeah, I was. I come back here. I sat down and I had a thought in my head. What's more important? Alcohol that ruled my brain, ruled my life, destroyed my life. Because most of my life, all my accidents are through stupidity, drinking, and doing dumb things.
And from that point on,
I had to get a reality check in my head.
That's amazing, and that's fantastic. So some wise words and to people out there who may be watching this and struggling at the moment.
With any person that's struggling at the moment, don't ever give up. Doesn't matter whether you suffer from depression, anxiety, mental illness, brain injuries, disability. Keep soldiering on. If you get knocked down today or tomorrow, get back up and fight.
And ask for help, yeah?
That's right. Ask for help. Pick up the phone.
And Ray, would I be correct in saying that asking for help doesn't immediately give you results? You have to keep putting in the effort.
You've got to keep trying.
You've got to keep putting in the effort and respecting yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you.
It's not going to be easy, but giving up, that's the easiest thing you can do.
So the message for this part 5 video is never lose hope, always respect yourself.
And hard times never last.
Hard times never last, of course, and unless we make the wrong decisions.
That's right, and keep going down the road, the same road.
And always make sure you surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you.
And always think you're number one. That's the important thing.
Without being selfish, but just selfish to the point where you need to look after yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you.
That's correct. That's right on.
So we'll leave this part 5 there, Ray, and continue on at another point.